What I can tell you is that if you don't unweight the bat, it's going to have a negative impact on your ball striking ability. It's going to have a negative impact on your contact points. You're going to struggle to present the full face through the line consistently because you're going to be pushing at the ball with your hands. So you're more likely to play early, play with hard hands, and you're also going to have less time on the ball because you're having to generate the speed with the bat through your hands, as opposed to turning the shoulder, getting the hands going back, setting the bat weightless, and letting the bat come through and follow the line of your body.
So you mentioned the word unweight. If someone doesn't know exactly what unweight the bat actually means, can you explain it in almost like layman's terms?
Yeah, so as you swing the bat, you want to get it to a point where the toe of the bat, like the perfect position would be toe of the bat vertical to the sky prior to commencing the swing of the bat. But basically, so it's getting the toe of the bat vertical to the sky prior to commencing the swing of the bat, whether it's straight bat or cross bat shot. Now, everybody's going to get there differently. So on one end of the spectrum, you'll have a player like Kane Williamson or Manus Labuschagne, who start with the bat almost vertical, but I see they're making some adjustments there. There's sort of a downside to that. But, they've got a small movement back as they turn their shoulder and the toe comes up and it goes straight back through. But it's on a very, very narrow path of the bat, the arc. And then, as I mentioned earlier, you've got guys like Steve Smith on the other end of the spectrum, whose bat is coming around, it's pointing at point, comes around in a big arc into the unweighted position, and then through the stroke. And then you're going to have variances all the way in between. Some people won't get it vertical, or, if you want to call it perpendicular to the ground. Some will go just past the perpendicular, a little bit more high risk, and others might be just a little bit short of it. But what it's doing is, when the bat is in that vertical position, it's light, because all the weight to the bat is now coming down through the handle. So you could stand with a bat like this for as long as you like without your arm getting tired, with the bat coming up, pointing vertical to the sky. Hold your bat pointing backwards towards the slips. It's going to feel very heavy. So what this does is it allows you to create lag, so that when you're leading with your strokes, the end of the handle's going towards the ball. If you can imagine, the bat's here, it drives to, and then the bat swings around underneath like a pendulum. Okay, as opposed to if you're keeping it flat, you're relying on your hands to generate speed through the ball, as opposed to when you're unweighted, we unweight the bat, but as we unweight the bat, we also unweight our body so that we can move forwards or backwards. So that's why it's called unweighting. And that's also a big misconception. A lot of people think that unweighting the bat is simply standing with it up like this in your stance, and this sets me in a position ready to hit. It doesn't. We've got to have that movement, the turn of the shoulder, and as all of that's happening, you're unweighting your body along with the bat so you can move forwards or push back and across.
Does this contribute to power hitting in any form? Does it assist with greater timing? You see some of the best players in the world, and you can almost categorize them. Say in England, you've got a Joe Root and a Joss Butler. And just on the face of it, you would say Joss Butler is a bit more of a power hitter, where Joe Root's more a touch player. Where does this all form when it comes to unweighting the bat, etc., when looking at those two players, for example?
Yeah, well, obviously they both do it. They both do it differently. What I can tell you is that if you don't unweight the bat, it's going to have a negative impact on your ball striking ability. It's going to have a negative impact on your contact points. You're going to struggle to present the full face through the line consistently because you're going to be pushing at the ball with your hands. So you're more likely to play early, play with hard hands, and you're also going to have less time on the ball because you're having to generate the speed with the bat through your hands, as opposed to turning the shoulder, getting the hands going back, setting the bat weightless, and letting the bat come through and follow the line of your body. So the benefits are more time on the ball, consistently play through the line, no curtain railing, bat's coming down steeper on the ball. So you're going to hit the ball down into the ground more consistently. And then if your head positions are good and your body angles are good, and you're unweighting, even if you are early on your strokes, the bat will still be coming down with the toe behind your hands, even when you get out in front of yourself. If your hands are low and you're not unweighting and you're pushing at the ball, well, as you push, what happens to your head? You've just seen your head comes back. Now your contact points, if you're slightly early, toe of the bat is ahead of your hands. Now balls are going up in the air. So you also get away with more by unweighting because you're coming down steeper on the ball. Even if you're early, the ball's still going down, and your ball striking, your timing is better because you're generating more speed through the ball. And also, as you unweight, look what happens to your head. Your head goes forward. Now, if I want to push back, I can push back. If I want to keep going forward, I keep going forward, but I've got a good body angle to hit down on top of the bounce of the ball.